Are you wasting this precious time in quarantine when you could be using it to create massive change in your personal, professional, and spiritual life? Hi, I'm Ann Margaret with Raise the Vibration with your Sacred Sunday message to raise the vibration of your body, mind, and spirit. So we will talk and discuss about how we are wasting our energy right now when we could be applying it towards things that really matter the most to us, as well as learn a couple tools so that we have some takeaways to apply to our week ahead. And then we will finish with a couple pulling of intuition cards to help access our subconscious mind. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's get started. So I wanted to pull on a couple quotes this morning about freedom, about commitment, about how we really are relating to what we can and can't control in our lives. And right now, all of us are at home. We have been mandated to stay quarantined to help this virus begin to lose its momentum. And this is very indicative and is very much a microcosm of a lot of things in our life where we feel like we have to do something or we're obligated to do something. And then we feel victimized by whatever circumstance it is or whatever person is making this demand on us. So how do we turn that on a dime so that we can shift into more of a spiritual realm? We can deepen our ability to love. We can deepen our capacity for intentionally creating our lives. There's so much value in this time. And if you're feeling like you're just watching Netflix or watching television or distracting yourself or doing things that lower your frequency, that when you're finished with them, maybe you're eating something that's not good for you, you don't feel good about yourself. Guys, it's time. Right now, it's time to take advantage. And you have plenty of resources right now. All of us have so much support to be able to do this. And if you don't, reach out to me personally and I'd be happy to support you, okay? I wanted to first talk about Epictetus. I never pronounce his name right, but he is a Greek philosopher who actually was born into slavery. Epictetus, it's a mouthful. And he is quoted in saying, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Even Tara Brach also has another great quote about freedom, which is something like, the degree to which we can accept the boundary to which we can, to our acceptance and level of acceptance is also the boundary to our freedom. So how can we powerfully accept what's going on in life right now in order to find freedom within the structure, within the paradigm in which we're living? So here's a guy who was born into slavery in what's now modern day Turkey, and he has transformed his entire life in order to be able to be renowned as one of the greatest Greek philosophers that we now know of. And he's from 14th century. So freedom is the only worthy goal in life. How can we find our freedom? And what do we want the freedom to do? Okay, here's another great quote from Thomas à Kempis. The author of, he's the 14th century, author of Imitation of Christ. He wrote, "Be not angry that you cannot make others as you wish them to be, since you cannot make yourself as you wish you to be." So how can we harness this time in quarantine to be able to recognize what we can shift in our lives? How do we create massive change in our life right now? How can we grow closer to God if that's what we want to do? How can we deepen our capacity to be a better human being? How can we shift our career or our intention with our professional life to be more in alignment with what our soul desires? Guys, we have one life, one life. Have you been devoting all of your time and your energy to things that are not fulfilling you? Now we have a global pandemic that is causing us to reflect and take the time to press the reset button. If there has ever been a time in your life to do this, it's now, okay? Now, how are we spending a lot of our times? I'm hearing from a lot of my coaching clients and my students that they're saying that they are ingesting a lot of media, and they feel not only sick to their stomach, but sick in their heads too after ingesting this, I'll just say this media, okay? Jim Morrison, obviously lead singer of The Doors, is quoted by saying, "Whoever controls the media controls the mind." Now, without getting off on too many tangents regarding this, and there are some incredible documentaries that are coming out now about this, watch them. But Jim Morrison is saying whoever controls the media controls the mind. What are you ingesting by watching what you're seeing on TV? What are you watching in your entertainment? There's so much entertainment out there that just continues to baffle me, to blow my mind of how do we keep going down this path of junk values, of the latest thing out there on Netflix. I'm not even going to name what it is, but is now encouraging even more promiscuity, even more recklessness, and even more disconnect with our soul's true value and the values that connect us with happiness and contentment. I'm no prude. I'm not trying to present a doctrine for you to follow that limits your freedom. But how do we define our freedom, guys? Are we defining our freedom as anything goes or junk values? I can be free to eat whatever I want, so I'm just going to eat chips and I'm going to just eat sugar all day. That's the freedom. Well, very quickly we learn that this freedom and the choosing of anything goes leaves us feeling really disgusting physically and spiritually and emotionally. Now is the time to take a real look of what are you investing your mind in. If the media controls the mind, as Jim Morrison so beautifully, as his prophet self said when he was alive, how are you ingesting the junk values that are consistently being shoved down our throats? Okay? I know I'm getting a little preachy, but it's so critical right now that we recognize how our minds are being hijacked by what we're tuning into. Okay? Here's another couple incredible quotes by Noam Chomsky. He said, "The smart way to keep people passive and obedient is to strictly limit the spectrum of acceptable opinion, but allow there a very lively debate within that spectrum." I'm going to say that again because this is a lot to wrap my mind around, and I'm sure hearing it is a lot to really ingest. The smart way to keep people passive and obedient is to strictly limit the spectrum of acceptable opinion. What is acceptable to think, to say, but allow a very lively debate within that spectrum, okay? Very easy way to see this is our political system. We've got this choice and we've got this choice, and then there's a lot of debate within that, okay? Think about it outside of the political spectrum with how you're choosing to live. Is it acceptable to keep this job going or keep this relationship going? And that there's a lot of drama and there's a lot of lively distractions within those things. But is it truly fulfilling you? Is it truly fulfilling you? Okay, these are tough questions, guys, but we have one life and it's time to really consciously live it. Another quote I think is really incredible by the same guy, Noam Chomsky, is all over the place from popular culture to the propaganda system. There is a constant pressure to make people feel that they're helpless, that the only role that they can have is to ratify decisions and to consume. To consume. We need to stop consuming right away. What happens when we're overweight? This is a really obvious example of blowing up physically, consuming things that are not good for us. And it's really easy to see this from the outside world. This is why people who are overweight are really bullied unfairly, as if these other people who are bullying them are not guilty of the same addiction. It may not be overeating, but it might be over consuming. It might be negative mindsets that they're addicted to. But the people who are overweight receive the bullying because it's a physical manifestation that everybody can see. What are you hiding in your life, pretending to hide from everybody in your life that you are addicted to? Are you addicted to security? Are you addicted to negative mind chatter? Are you addicted to criticism or judgment? Are you addicted to uh, blame, being the victim? What are we addicted to that is really easily hidden from others? Okay, that's another great question to ask right now, to interrupt and help us create massive change in our area, in the areas of our lives that matter most to us, what we can control. All right, we can't control a lot of things in life, but we can control what we're watching and what we're thinking, what we're hiding and pretending to be. Okay, we can control a lot of these things. And one of the most beautiful quotes too I want to leave you with, as far as quotes go, I know I've got 5 quotes sharing with you today, 6 quotes even, is Megan Chance. And she said, "You learn to run from what you feel, and that's why you have nightmares. To deny is to invite madness. To accept is to control." Wow, such an incredible quote, right? You learn to run from what you feel. Guys, your feelings, our feeling body is the gateway to our freedom. It's to recognizing what we're feeling, what our bodies are saying, this is not okay anymore. Okay, we have the capacity to tune into it if we stop tuning into all of the other distractions. Okay, what we're feeling, if we run from it, that's why we have nightmares. Okay, she says to deny is to invite madness. To deny that those feelings exist invites madness, and to accept is to control. Back to that Tara Brach quote, all right? Our relationship, the boundary to what we can accept is the boundary to our freedom, okay? We need to look at what are we accepting and how can we be free within those structures, those value structures to put into place so that our spirits may be free, so that we can feel good about ourselves, so that we can grow more deeply in love and connection and intimacy to one another. Okay, let's pull our cards. Okay, I've also put in the references, all of these quotes, so you can reference them yourself. And then also, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, I have a sliding scale so that it makes it available for you guys. I do couples coaching. If you're having a difficult time with your partner or your roommate or your business partner right now, reach out to me. There's also some great things. Next Sunday is our women's circle. Anthony and I are offering online workshops and classes and lots of things going on. I also put some essential oil references in there too that are great now. Beautiful. The quote for the archetype today is the knight. The knight light attributes are loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. This is so great in alignment with this talk today, because what do we want to align ourselves with? Do we want to align ourselves with junk values and base emotions and just going after whatever our whimsical nature goes to? Or do we want to be conscious creators of our reality and how we're growing deeper in connection with oneness, with source, with God, with ourselves, and with each other? Shadow attributes, allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. All right, allegiance. What are we giving our allegiance to with what we're tuning into in the media, what we're watching on our entertainment channels? What are we giving our life force to? That's a great archetype for today. Okay, woo, I'm kind of blown away by that. I saw it and was like, is this really applicable? It always is, right? All right, so here's the goddess for today, drawing on our intuition. Athena, wow, Athena, goddess Athena is such a powerful goddess of wisdom. This goddess in mythology really knew what the alignment was with true wisdom. This is what we're being asked to do right now. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. This goddess is reminding us, this is just drawing on our intuition, on our subconscious mind, okay? A reminder that we know what's good for us. We know what the next step is. We know if we don't know that next step, where we can find help, where we have the resources. So great work today, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to help raise your own vibration and align yourself with what could really create massive action in your spirituality, in your physical well-being, in your mental and emotional well-being. If you know somebody who could benefit from this, please feel free to share this video. And until next time I see you, keep raising the vibration. All right, love you all. Bye.